Welcome to Verbal Peak Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Atatiana Jefferson was in her home with her nephew cooking burgers. Tatiana opened up her front door to let the air out, or the smell, or to clear the inside of her home out with fresh air. So she opened her door. It was nighttime. A neighbor saw her door opened, called the police, and said, "My neighbor's door is open. It's nighttime. It's strange, and this is not normal." Now, what should have happened was neighbors should have called her to see if everything was all right inside the house, if he knew her phone number. If not, he calls the police. The police shows up on the scene. Now, the police obviously didn't have their red, white, and blues flashing to where she could look out and see what's going on. First mistake by the police. Second mistake is that the officer never identified himself as an officer. So he's in the backyard. Tatiana gets her gun. She hears a noise. She's pointing her gun downward, walking to go outside to see what was the noise, right? Now, had Aron Dean, the police officer who shot and killed Atatiana Jefferson, had he said, "Police department, police, ma'am, police is outside," that's like a knock on a door. That's like a ring on a doorbell. That's like saying, "You're safe, the police is here." He didn't do that. Right? Had the police announced himself, it would have relinquished her fears that, oh, okay, the police is out there. Everything is okay. Why? Because we're taught when you're in danger and the police shows up, you can relax because you have someone that's coming to serve and protect you. Didn't happen. What the police did was, he's going to do a surprise sneak attack. I'm going to sneak through the back door to get the jumps on who's ever in that house or would-be burglar. Right? That's not police behavior, and that is not how you operate. When you are a police officer and you identify yourself, whether it be a would-be burglar or someone trying to protect their home, when they hear that police, then the burglar takes off running and you can pursue the chase. The homeowner comes out, "Oh, thank God you're here. I heard noise in the background. What's going on?" Police would have said, "Oh, your neighbor called or someone called and said your front door is open." "Oh, yeah, I was cooking burgers and I was airing out the house." That's the end of it. But what did the police do? Sneaks around back, sees a black woman with a gun getting ready to come outside, and he shoots her through the window of her own home. Now, she's allowed to carry a gun. She's in her home. To protect her home, he cowardly shoots her through the window, killing Atatiana Jefferson. At the time, her nephew was 8 years old, playing a video game. He witnessed the whole deal. Now, they want to try to get Cross, the nephew, up in the trial by asking him, well, earlier you stated that the gun was kind of up. He's eight years old. He remembered everything. Nah, my aunt had that gun pointed down because, of course, when you walking, the gun is pointing down. Then you raise it when you see someone. That's natural. She didn't see who shot her. She didn't point the gun towards the window. She's walking headed outside, and he shoots her through the window. Now, why is this upsetting? And why do the community has to get involved? Because this is a woman, meaning this could have been someone's future wife, a mother of a future child, a professional who could have lent her talents to the black community. That shot took away all of that unjustly, and it was unprovoked, right? The neighbor called Aron Dean, the police officer, the cop, to that location on a non-emergency call. Police shows up. I don't know what was going through his mind, but it was a non-emergency that the neighbor's door is open. Police go investigate to see what's going on, meaning identify yourself, knock on the door, get on the police horn. It's so many other things he could have done than shoot the lady through the window, killing her. Now, the question would be asked was, if it was a predominantly white neighborhood, would he follow the same procedure? I think if he was in an all predominantly white neighborhood, he'd have said, hey, is everybody okay inside? I'm a police officer. Do you need any assistance? They would have talked, right? Because in a white neighborhood, brandishing your firearm is the last resort. In the black community, brandishing your firearm is the first resort. And that's the problem. As I stated in a previous podcast when they had a special on why so many officers were quitting the police force and they left a void of police officers in certain communities. Well, because the reason why was that they were quitting was that they felt like the officers felt that they was not being protected, and they felt that by officers going to jail for murder, they felt that the community wasn't, or the people wasn't behind the officers, so they're quitting, and they felt like they wasn't being respected. And as I stated, since the spotlight was on officers killing unarmed black men and women and killing black men and women in their own home unjustly, since they could no longer get away with it, it seems like the job just wasn't worth it. Meaning, I don't want to be a police officer because if I'm dealing with black and brown communities, I'm coming with guns a-blazing. And if I can't walk home after that and you trying to sentence me to jail, then I don't want to be a police officer anymore. Right? Well, what was your reason for becoming a police officer in the first place? Right? That's what sparked the, hey man, we got to defund the police. It's lopsided, right? Although we see on the news where white men and women cussing police officers out, fighting police officers, pulling weapons on white police officers, nothing happens. But a black or a brown try those same tactics, they're shot dead. So it just reflects the ongoing problem of racism in this country. Now we back in a courtroom at another police shooting, which should not be difficult at all. The conclusion should not be a difficult one, but yet they're making it seem as though this is a hard decision to make, whether a homeowner has the right to protect their home versus a police officer killing that homeowner due to a misjudge of character or a mistake. Should he be punished for his mistake when this person is dead and you trying to say that it was a mistake? You cannot measure a mistake to death. Right? What was the proper training? As an officer, are you required to identify yourself? Once an officer identifies themselves, our problem goes away because now you know what you're dealing with, and then you can make a decision from that point on. But if he doesn't identify himself, she doesn't know if that's a burglar, or she doesn't even know that the neighbor even called the police. And loses her life trying to protect her 8-year-old nephew in the house playing video games, which she at that moment is the guardian over him. What's a person to do? Meaning, black people, you are not to be a victim at the hands of no man. You are a citizen. You have rights. You are supposed to protect yourself. You're not supposed to cower in a corner somewhere at the mercy of someone hoping that they're going to treat you right. You just can't leave it in their hands. You know, it's ridiculous. How we are perceived to function and react in this society doesn't make sense at all as human beings. And if you play into the role, then you're not living up to your full self and your full potential. You're just a victim hoping that someone gives you mercy and give you a pass to live. And that's not living. That is not living. So we'll see how the outcome of this trial is, but being justly or justice, there's no way a quiet, unannounced person can come into your community, come into your home, come in your private property, not announce, and sneak in the dark. Now, you got to remember it's nighttime. Sneak in the dark and shoot the homeowner while the homeowner is trying to protect their property, right? Their residence, the place where they laid their head. That is their domain. The police officer, you are an outsider on this person's property without properly identifying yourself. Hark, who goes there? Right? What? You don't say anything? Shoot them. Who goes there? You don't say anything? You don't identify yourself? We don't know who you are. What's your training? You know, this is one of the biggest cases, whether you know it or not, that is being tried in the public, and the results of this case will say everything. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.